Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to create themes for the Innioasis Y1 right from your browser. I bought this device a few months ago, and one of the main reasons I got it was because you can install custom themes and personalize it. I think that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of people buy it. And honestly, it's a really nice looking device. It's highly customizable. It has a great community on Reddit and Discord, and it's been awesome to see more and more people creating their own themes over time. I created this tool because when I first started making themes myself, I realized the process was pretty tedious. One of the main problems is that there isn't really any clear documentation explaining exactly what you can and can't customize. And the other issue, which is the most frustrating part for me, was that every time I wanted to preview a change to my theme, I had to install it on the device by connecting it over USB. That process was slow, and if you have music on the device, every time you change the theme, it has to scan the SD card's files all over again. So the whole thing takes time, and it feels like a really slow and unoptimized workflow. So what I ended up doing was finding the device firmware, doing a bit of reverse engineering, and extracting the APK for the music player itself. Since this device is technically running Android, it has apps installed on it. And when you turn it on, it automatically launches the music player app, which is what you are seeing here. From that APK, I was able to extract the information about how the layouts are built, what fonts are used, and how they work, which colors can and can't be changed, which images can be replaced, and so on. Using all of that, I built this editor you are seeing here, where I can accurately reproduce the behavior of the real device. I can scroll using the click wheel just like on actual hardware. I can go into different sections and explore them. And thanks to that, I can preview my theme changes in real time while I'm working on it. So now, with this tool, I can modify every part of the theme that I want. And when I export it, it creates an optimized version with correctly sized images and everything configured so that all I have to do is drag the theme onto the device. Because of that, I know that the way it looks here is exactly how it's going to look on the device itself. This simulator is probably about 99% accurate to the real device. Now I want to explain the basics of how this works before showing you how to create your own theme. First, the editor already comes with a bunch of preloaded themes that you can explore or modify yourself. That's really useful because it lets you see the design decisions other creators made and gives you idea for your own themes. So over here on the left sidebar, you can select them and preview them. I really like this aero theme. I think it's super iconic. Over on the right side, you can see the theme assets themselves, the author, the colors, the font, and so on. There is something really important here. Some themes use very few images, but still look incredibly complete visually. For example, this theme called LCD looks really clean and attractive, and it only uses 14 images. But the creator made really good use of colors, and I think that makes it feel like a very polished theme, even with very few assets. On the other hand, one of the most complete themes with the highest number of custom assets is probably Melody Launcher. It has up to 85 custom images. One really interesting thing about themes is that they can include images called masks, like the desktop mask or setting mask. These are images you can place on the main screen or settings screen, and they act like an overlay around the menu on the left and the smaller images on the right. I think it's really interesting to explore themes and see how they work. As for the device in the center, it basically acts like a simulator for real hardware. What it lets you do is preview everything that can be customized in a theme. For example, if we go into the now playing screen, you can see that it looks like exactly like the real device. And here I want to mention something important about themes. There are some things that simply can't be changed. That's a technical limitation of the device itself, not a limitation of this tool. For example, the song title text and other text in this area will always be white and can never be changed. That's an issue because it means any background image you use needs to have enough contrast. Otherwise, the white text won't be readable. Again, this can't be changed because it's hard-coded as white inside the app. It's unfortunate, I know, and hopefully they will improve it in the future, but it's important to know when you are designing your own theme. As for the different views you can preview, I want to show you the settings screen because it's very complete. If we scroll using the click wheel, you can see that every section has its own image. The interesting part is that some of these images only have two states, basically on and off, but other settings have a lot of more states. For example, if we look at timed shutdown, you can see that every time you click, the little red dot changes position. That's actually a different image for each value. In this case, there are up to 7 images. You can see them over here on the right. If you search for the word timed, it will filter and show only the images related to that setting. This is important because it shows how much customization is possible, and it's something you can keep in mind while creating your own themes. Now I want to explain how to create your own themes, which is really the main point of this video and this tool. The first thing we need is a solid starting point, in this case the default theme. That default theme includes up to 90 images, which is basically every image that can be customized. We'll use it as a base to create a theme from scratch because it already contains everything we need to get started. To create a new theme, go up here to the top left, open the menu, click File, then New Theme. This creates a brand new editable theme that you can start working on right away. If you don't want to start from the default theme, you can also go to an existing theme and click the clone icon. Cloning a theme lets you start editing it directly, so you can change the color, images, and everything else while using that theme as your base. Depending on what you want to create, it might make sense to start with the default blank theme or use any of the existing themes from the sidebar. Now I want to create a new theme and I want to start modifying it. I'm going to begin with one of the most visual parts, which is the main background image for the home screen. As soon as you start working on a clone or new theme, the right sidebar changes and gives you editing controls. When you're just previewing, you can only see the assets associated with that theme, but when you are editing, you can actually change them. So now, in the images section, I can copy this image to use in an editor like Photoshop or Photopea. I can paste any image from my clipboard too, and very importantly, I can also replace this image with any equivalent image from another theme. For example, here I have the desktop wallpaper, which is the main background image. I can quickly replace with an equivalent image, and that opens this modal window where I can browse desktop wallpapers from all the other themes in the sidebar. That way, I can explore what other themes are using and bring those images into my own theme. In this case, I'm going to select this background image from another theme and apply it to mine. And just like that, I've changed the background image of my new theme. Now let's say I already have an image in my clipboard that I want to use as a background. All I have to do is copy it from wherever it came from and paste it into the box that represents that image. One of the great things about this editor is that it doesn't matter if the device resolution is about 300 pixels and I paste an image like 1000 pixel image. The editor automatically resizes and optimizes the image to correct resolution when exporting the theme, so you don't have to spend time worrying about that kind of optimization. Now that we have changed the main background image, we can do the same with the category images. And here I want to explain something important. In the Home menu, there are a lot of category images. Let's say I want to customize one of them. I'm going to start with the audiobooks icon. Since I want to edit it, I'll copy it to the clipboard and use it as a reference in Photopea. I paste it into Photopea and now I can start working on it. In this case, I already have another icon ready to use as replacement. So I copy and paste the image over the original. Since I still have the original theme image, I can use it as a reference to know exactly where to place the new one, how to resize it, and so on. Once I've made the changes, there is something really important you always need to do before bringing the image back into the theme. You need to keep the correct proportions. To do that, instead of using regular copy, you should copy merge. In the Edit menu, there is an option called Copy Merged. This is very important because if you use regular copy, it only copies the visible pixels of the current layer, which could be smaller than the original image size. So the correct workflow is to start with the original image, select the entire canvas, and then use Copy Merge. Once it's in the clipboard, I go back to the editor, paste the image over the image, and it updates automatically. Then I can keep doing that image by image. The last step in creating your own theme is exporting it. To do that, go to the Theme Info section and fill out the details however you want. Your name, your URL, a short description, etc. It's important to note that this theme will be saved in your browser using a local database that browsers do support. So even though if you close this browser, your theme will be there forever. Then click Download, and what happens next is that the exporter optimizes every image asset and creates a fully valid theme for the device. After that, all you need to do is to extract the zip file, move it into the themes folder on the device while it's connected over USB, disconnect the device, go to Themes section in Settings on the real device, select your new theme, and that's it. You've created your first theme. I hope you like this tool. I think it's really complete, and I think it's going to help this device community keep growing over time. If you think the editor needs extra features, feel free to leave a comment on this video or in the GitHub repository. And that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Join the Reddit and Discord communities where we'll hang out, and definitely show me the themes you create because I love seeing them. Thank you.